Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We got Carol Manson in the house. All of you beautiful people, your souls are welcome here. You are in the right place at the right time. Let's sing about it. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Come on, Mr. Hands up. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome.
Your soul is welcomed here. Happy Palm Sunday, SLC. And if I could take a minute, I want to thank people. As many of you know, it was my birthday. I mean, my goodness, the birthday celebration at the Thai restaurant, the cards, the letters, the gifts. You know, I've only been here 7 months, but it filled me with such faith and hope that you'll let me stay for another 7 months. But I have to add, of all the cards, there was one card I got from Ellen and Gary Ferguson, which had such profound truth to it that I really felt called to share with you. The card read, "With age comes knowledge. With age comes knowledge. With knowledge comes respect. With knowledge comes respect. With respect comes love. With respect comes love. And with the senior breakfast comes 2 biscuits and an unending flow of decaf coffee, all for $1.99. Thank you so much, and good morning, Lisa. Wasn't the Lawson family chat night on Wow Wednesday just incredible?
Thank you, Reverend Brecken. Reverend Brecken, good morning. And good morning to you, SLC. We greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy, and in the warm and loving energy of our community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that there is no spot that God is not. If this is your first time joining us online or in person, we especially welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. We are all here by divine appointment. Please silence your electronic devices and refrain from flash photography during the service.
And today's daily word is Palm Sunday. And the affirmation is, on Palm Sunday, I honor the divine presence within. On Palm Sunday, Jesus made his triumphant entry into Jerusalem, riding a donkey, or was it a colt, spiritually symbolizing dominion of the Spirit over human nature. Today, I find inspiration in that timeless Bible story. Going forward, I commit myself to mastering my impulses and judgments and continually surrendering my imperfections to the Christ within. My commitment in regularly going to the upper room of my consciousness soothes my rough edges of my mind and opens my heart to perfect love and purity. By following Jesus' example, I proceed with courage and confidence along the path of fulfillment and transcendence. And from the Gospel of John, we read, I have come as light into the world, so that everyone who believes in me should not remain in darkness. Today's daily word is Palm Sunday. Dear Spirit, thank you for this spring. Thank you for this Holy Week. Thank you for this triumphal entry. Help us to remember that this Holy Week story is not just about long ago and far away, but is about right here and right now. Thank you for SLC, this incredible spiritual community with a powerful message, not just for Sacramento, but for the world beyond. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And every week we say our mission statement, not because it's boilerplate, but because it really gets at why and who we have come here to be. Let's say it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we also say those 5 key unity principles, which I don't know about your life, I have turned to these so often to deal with the potholes in life and to get out of the potholes in life and to really turn into an overcomer. Let's say them together. God is absolute good, everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experience. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. And we are still in that season of creative nonviolence, honoring the values of both Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King, Believe me, boy, oh boy, if there was a time we needed him on this planet, now is surely the time. And each week we ask one of you to come on up and read something about this and also to share your impression on it. We've asked Marilyn White to please come on up. Thank you, Marilyn. I have you.
There you go.
Good morning, SLC.
Good morning.
It's good to see everyone. The title of this reading today is Today I Speak in a Calm and Loving Tone of Voice. So here we go. Dear God, I let your presence permeate every cell and action of my being. That's supposed to be atom of my being. I let you speak through me today. The soothing tone of my voice immediately calms and harmonizes every situation of which I am a part. The words I speak today uplift and harmonize. The calm, living tone of voice with which I speak blesses all who hear it. My thoughts and words are pure and potent and filled with God's love. I speak words of comfort and encouragement. Nothing can disturb the deep calm of my soul. My voice soothes and calms people, I hope. The tone of voice I use is reflective of an inner peace that I radiate to others as I speak words of kindness. My tone of voice indicates my generosity of spirit. As I proclaim words of truth in a calm and loving tone of voice, I call into being the good you have in store for me today and always. Thank you, God. And this is what I've prepared as a response. As I sat with this reading, what really spoke to me is how easy it is to overlook the power of something as simple as our tone of voice. We all have moments, whether it is with family, at work, or even here in the church, where we're tired, we're stressed, and if we're honest, our tone doesn't always reflect the peace we say we carry. But this reading gently reminds us that when we slow down and allow God to truly be present in us, even our tone can become a ministry. It's not just about saying the right words, it's about how those words are delivered. A calm, loving tone can ease tension, bring comfort, and even change the direction of a conversation. What I appreciate most is that this reading isn't asking us to be perfect, it's inviting us to be intentional. To pause before we speak, to check our spirit, to ask, am I bringing peace into this moment or something else? And in a world that can feel loud, reactive, and sometimes unkind, choosing a calm and loving tone is actually a powerful witness. It tells people there's something different within us, something rooted in God. So my takeaway today is simple. I want my words and my tone to reflect the love, the peace, and the pressure of God and the presence of God in my life. Not just here in church, but everywhere I go. And I believe if we can all carry that with us, even in small ways, it can make a real difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, the shares on the Season for Nonviolence, it's a different one for the 9 o'clock service and a different one for the 11 o'clock service, but all of them are posted up on the web page, and it's worth going back and hearing. I have just been so moved by the shares that people have made during this season of creative nonviolence. And there's so much going on in the church, Lee, so what's happening?
Boy, there sure is. What a week we have ahead of us. This is the beginning of Holy Week, that week between Palm Sunday and Easter. And we begin on Wednesday with our usual oneness prayer circle with the chaplains, and that'll be in the prayer chapel. This is a time to connect personally through prayer and meditation. That's at 5:30. That'll be followed by our birthday bash this week, and we're asking you to RSVP so that we can all prepare for how many are coming. That'll be followed at 7 p.m. by our first Holy Week service, which is the communion service entitled On Holy Ground. We'll be sharing consecrated elements in ceremony and deepening the connection with each other and our indwelling spirit. That'll be Reverend Rick and myself with music by Ann Roach and Paula Mandela. On Thursday is our Passover Seder. How many have tickets for that? Well, you're the lucky and early birds because it is sold out. But we want you to remember that you have tickets and to come. This is a dinner and a ceremony that captures the Jewish experience as well as the Last Supper at 6 p.m. on Thursday. Friday is our Good Friday service. It's entitled The 7 Last Words of Christ. And this will be presenting a metaphysical view of Good Friday. It's a contemplative service that takes you deep into a metaphysical insight of the crucifixion story as one of healing and release. It'll be uplifting, constructive, and inspirational. That'll be Reverend Rick and myself with music by Larry Shiflett. We get Saturday off, and if you're like me, you may want to see the sunrise in a beautiful service on Easter Sunday morning. We're going to meet here at 6:45 for a shorter type of service. Reverend Rick and the prayer chaplains will lead and be accompanied by my family, myself and Michael and Cameron in music. And, of course, we have our Easter service at 9 and 11 a.m., a wonderful time of celebration, and we have the SLC choir, again led by Larry Shiflett. So invite your friends and family, your grandkids or kids to come to our Easter egg hunt between the services promptly at 10:30. Please bring your Easter baskets. It's only going to last about 15 minutes. We'll have the Easter bunny and everybody. So our Seas Candy Sale supporting our youth and family ministry is supposed to end today. There's not a lot of candy left, so we encourage you to please buy candy today to support our youth and family ministry. If there's any left, we'll be selling it at the hub next week.
And if that were not enough, following Holy Week, the very Sunday following Holy Week, Reverend Ken Daigle from Unity of San Francisco will be here leading both services. He has just come out with an incredible book called Unapologetic Manifestation. I think it's an excellent book. He will be leading both services and a free workshop in the afternoon. This is going to be leading to classes. I urge you to take the class. I think this is really a way to kickstart your spiritual program. And let's hear from Ken.
Hello, it's good to be with you by video again and look forward to being with you in person soon. On April 12th, I'll be up to do talks and do a workshop about unapologetic manifestation, the new book I've written about how to create the life you want. You see, I know something about you. I know that there exists within you a desire for something greater, for something more fulfilling, for something better for the planet. And I know also that within you, you have the power, the strength, the wisdom, and the fortitude to do just that. I know that because it's the journey I've been on, and the reason I felt I needed to write this book and create this course. So I'm inviting you to come to services on April 12th, to stay for the free workshop I'm going to conduct after services, and then to sign up for the 10-week class that Reverend Rick and I are going to do together, with you, for you, and create lives of true meaning and purpose, lives that the world needs, because the world needs you to fully show up. Join us on April 12th and April 15th, and I look forward to being with you. Namaste.
So many good things are happening here at SLC. We really are on a roll. I think Ken's class and unapologetic manifestation will kickstart us even into a higher level. I urge you to come. Also, are you called? Has Spirit talked to you about serving on the Board of Trustees? We're going to have a meeting for people who are interested in becoming candidates. It's going to be held right after, 12:45. It will be in the prayer chapel over there. Applications must be in by April 5th. You know, I know we're trying to get the announcement shorter and all that, but you know what? We're not even talking about all the wonderful small groups that are here. There is something going on every day of the week here, which can really kickstart and help you in terms of your spiritual walk. Go to the website, go to the hub after the service, and really get in on this. The other is prayer is at the center of the Unity movement. Our prayer chaplains will be out in the courtyard for one-on-one prayer with you. Avail yourself of that valuable resource. And you know what? We come here for so many reasons, but one of them is for fellowship and connection. So let's share that fellowship and connection right now in ways which are best for us.
Stay standing for our group song, Day by Day.
Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, love thee more clearly, to see thee more clearly, love thee more clearly, to see thee more clearly, love thee more clearly, to see thee more clearly, love thee more clearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, by day, by day, by Wonderful. Please be seated. And now, as we settle in, take all that beautiful, joyful energy and just take it right straight into your heart. Let's take a nice deep breath together. And in preparation for meditation, let's speak our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Well, ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And let's sing this beautiful chant and affirm: all good, all good. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy.
we enter into a time of meditation. Take a breath and relax your body. Go within. In this place of holiness, all is well. We're near the culmination of 40 days of Lent. We've made the journey. We've traveled the path of healing and of transformation. And we now stand at the gates of the holy city, the city of peace within our own souls. Before we enter the city, we pause in the garden. Let us go to that inner garden now to nourish our spirits. And in this place of pure intention and radiant beauty, we find the peace that passes all understanding. Just as Jesus sought the stillness of Gethsemane, we come to our own inner garden, and we recognize that for something new to be born, something old must be released to prepare a place for the new. We know that we are preparing for a great change. Recognizing now our love for all that is and all that has been, and all that this love of ours has brought us, we release our preconceived ideas about life, about what is coming next. For something new is coming, something that will nourish us through our next season of growth. And in this quiet place, our thoughts still, we connect to the source, to the indwelling Christ. We nurture our growth and the life within us, surrendering to the divine within, to the perfect order of all good, the only true power and presence. Our hearts open in wonder and in anticipation, for each of us is resurrecting and transforming as an expression of the Christ, dying and resurrecting in consciousness. Your next spiritual evolution brings you a new way of being. Your faith will carry you through this time of transformation. So savor the sweetness of the garden to which you may always return for comfort, for direction and focus. In this place of peace, we rest now for a moment in the silence. still. As we begin this Easter week, we carry with us our place of peace, so that we may each enter a new consciousness of our radiant Christhood. And so it is.
All to Spirit I surrender. All to Spirit I freely give. Now I will ever love and trust you in your presence daily live. I surrender all. I surrender all to Spirit, my great Creator. I surrender all. Oh, all to Spirit I surrender humbly as I make this vow. All my life, your faithful servant. Use me, Spirit, use me now. I surrender all. I surrender
Thank you, Music Ministry. And a prequel, thank you, Paula and Lurie, for what's going to be a wonderful, with the choir, it's going to be wonderful. I've loved watching Lurie's posts on Facebook where she's directing, and it's really neat. Marilyn, thank you so much for your share in terms of Season of Nonviolence. And they're up online. I mean, for each week, and I would strongly suggest going back to them. They've been wonderful. And Lisa, thank you for a wonderful, wonderful meditation. And so we come to Palm Sunday and Holy Week. And so many of us know this story so well. Sometimes I think we know the story all too well. And ironically, we want to forget some of the difficult and uncomfortable details. But I think some of the most powerful ways this story can actually have a positive impact on us in our active modern lives is in those details. Now, I'm going to be mostly today using the Gospel according to Mark. We believe, and I think for sound reasons, that Mark was the earliest of the Gospels that was written. It's the one that has fewer curlicules in it or codicils in it. Remember Dragnet? Remember just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. That's Mark. Well, when it says that Jesus and the disciples came to Jerusalem, what it probably should have said is that Jesus and the disciples came to Jerusalem and Bethany, because he spent as much time in Bethany almost as he spent in Jerusalem. Let's remind ourselves about the geography of the place. Here's Jerusalem up on the top of the mountains and all that. Down a ways is Bethany. So for a typical day, the disciples slept and Jesus slept in Bethany. They then went up the hill and they went to Jerusalem, did whatever they were going to do in Jerusalem, and then came down and went back to Bethany. Why they did it that way? Well, I don't know. Maybe they got a better Airbnb deal in Bethany than Jerusalem has been overpriced for years. I mean, and then, so Jesus came in riding. Some say it was a colt. Some say it was a donkey. Some say it was a dirt bike. Some say it was a Harley Davidson. But there's a great, before we even get to the parade, there's a great spiritual lesson here. Because remember, Jesus said, go to the next town and you will find, was it a donkey? Was it a colt? You will find, let's say a colt, Mark says a colt. You will find a colt tied up, go to it, untie it, take it. If asked, tell them the master needs it and you'll get it, you'll get it back after we're done. And several of the disciples do this and they find this. Now, Ken Daigle's coming here talking about unapologetic manifestation. The ability of when we are following spiritual principles to manifest these things in our life. Let me go to some unity metaphysics. The early pioneers of unity believed, and I do too, that the material world is not the end all and be all. Surrounding this material world is something which they just called substance, and I'm glad they didn't give it a fancy pants name, just something called substance. And the ability of following spiritual principles to draw more of this substance into your life. Jesus taught this, way before Holy Week. If you remember when he set out the 70, and he said to them, go, don't take your American Express cards, no Venmo, no Zelle, just go and know that you can draw this in. And if you're in a town where you can't draw it in, shake off the dust from your cloak, bless the town, and move on to the next town. The ability to pull this stuff in. Buddha was the same way in teaching this. He sent his monks out, the monks in the deer park. He sent them out with empty begging bowls, nothing in them. You can draw this in. You can draw your substance in. Now, I'm going to be sticking my 2 cents in during this. Well, of course, a minute, I guess you get to stick your 2 cents in. And hopefully when it's the blessing, you're sticking more than 2 cents in, Rick. It was September. I believe very strongly that all of us here, all of us, at times, have vibrated at the level of a Jesus or Buddha. I believe that. Now, the problem is with us, well, let me just keep to me. I haven't figured out yet or reached a point where I can stay up there. You know, there have been times I've been there, but zoom. But to quote Krishna Das, he expresses the same thing. He believes, he says, eventually, we will be able to do that. And if you think that's heresy, Jesus said in the Gospel of John, you shall do greater things than me. Think about that for a moment, as a, not just as window dressing, as a real statement. You shall do greater things than me. So it was September. I've told this story here before. It was September 11th. For United Way, I was in the wilds of western Kentucky, no flights and it's September 11th, no flights to get back to Washington, no car I could rent, was able to manifest an SUV to drive back. Now, again, I don't believe every day I'm up at a level of a Jesus or a Buddha, but I believe that all of us have. And if we follow certain spiritual principles, it's more likely that that level of vibration will be higher. And I think this is a key thing of Jesus' teaching. Go to the next town, you will find, et cetera, et cetera. So it comes to the triumphal entry. They're entering in. People are saying, Hosanna. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the palms and everything. And as a matter of fact, some in the crowd are starting to say, Hosanna, blessed is the Son of David, blessed is the Son of David. Now, up on the parapets, one of the priestly powers that be look at Jesus and say, Rabbi, do you hear what some of your folks are saying? Now, the Jewish concept of messiahship back in those days was Son of David. He is going to come back and restore the Davidic kingdom. He's going to boot the Romans the heck out of there, reestablish the Davidic kingdom. And they're saying, Son of David, Son of David. So, you could say, we gave him off-ramps. When his crowd was cheering, because you're bordering on blasphemy right now. Did Jesus take the off-ramp? No. He looked back up and said, if I were to silence these folks, even the rocks would cry out. Even the rocks would cry out. And I tell you, a few weeks ago at Wow Wednesday, when Catherine Mandela was here talking about her traveling through the stone circles in Great Britain, and she had that equipment, and she played that music from those rocks, from those crystals. It was incredible in terms of crying out. So Jesus comes up, he reaches the temple, and the Gospels say, Mark in particular, that he went through where he wanted to go in the temple. Now, let me pull into my Jewish roots, and because no offense, I think some of you Gentiles may miss the key significance of this point, how the first and second temple was run. You didn't just walk around the temple where you wanted to go. The temple is probably two of the closest things we have to it today. If you've ever been to a Mormon temple, and when I told this in the 9 o'clock service, several people who I know were former Mormons shook their head. You don't just go wandering around. There are certain places where you can go, but most of it you cannot walk around and go in. The other, which I would describe as probably the closest many of us have had to going to the first or second temple, is when we go to the doctor's office. There's the outer waiting room, which all the hoi polloi can, everybody can go, and it's like the court of the Gentiles, the court of the women, and all that. But only a select few then are allowed, and maybe one relative is allowed to come with you back into the examination room, and eventually what you see. Many of us these days don't even see the priest, don't even see the doctor. We see the physician's assistant or, the nurse practitioner. But few of us ever get into the Holy of Holies, which is the doctor's office or the billing department. And so that was the way the temple was run. And so Jesus and the disciples walked around where they wanted to go in the temple. I mean, my God, between the parade and walking around, this was a total hero's welcome. And then, as Mark says, they came out, they left, and they went back down to Bethany. They went back down to Bethany. Now, that was Sunday. Come Friday, 5 days later, out come the boards and the nails. Out comes the spikes and slamming them through his flesh. I know some of you are getting uncomfortable. Reverend Rick, come on, mosey along, the next subject. But clearly, I mean, I felt so fortunate at seminary. My biblical teacher was Reverend Dr. Jesse Tanner, and no pun intended, he really nailed it into us about crucifixion. I mean, crucifixion, the Romans were saying, we're not just going to kill you. We're going to kill you in the most agonizing way possible. And we are going to dehumanize you in the most flagrant way we possibly can. And we are going to totally undermine your reputation. That's what crucifixion was all about. So Jesus went from, in 5 days, from a hero to a zero, almost in a nanosecond. How did that happen? Well, I think, from the hero, victory, I think two things changed. First, the powers that be regrouped. They regrouped. They realized that they had just been totally snookered by what they thought was a hick from the sticks. I remember this so well. My daughter Therese was around 7 years old, and my older daughter Rachel was probably around 15 years old. And I would say to Rachel, I'm stopping the car. Here's money. Go in and get snacks for both of you. Therese gets one snack. And then they'd come out, and I'd see Therese had 3 snacks. I said, what happened? Well, Therese said, I said, Rachel, you've just been snookered by a 7-year-old. So in essence, they felt they were just totally snookered by a hick from the sticks. They regrouped. They put their best spin doctors on the case. They put their best crowd control experts on the case, so when the crowd was given a choice, they would shout back, give us Barabbas. And things changed from hero to zero. What about the Jewish crowd? Well, I've talked a little bit about what the idea of messiahship was in those days, and Jesus had a very different concept of messiahship. That it wasn't just, if it were today, the ISIS restore the caliphate or something like that Jesus had a much higher vision of what the messiahship and what the Christ spirit was all about. And probably a lot of folks were turned off by that. They wanted a quick political solution. And so we saw from Palm Sunday to Good Friday, hero to zero in almost a nanosecond. Now, this hero to zero phenomenon, we see this pattern throughout history and in our own lives. People are lifted up, praised, depended on, and then when circumstances change or expectations aren't met, they are discarded. Palm Sunday invites us to examine how we participate in hero to zero dynamics, both as givers and receivers of approval. I mean, let's look at a few examples that echo this hero to zero theme throughout history and, quite frankly, in our own lives. You don't have to go far. The first book of the Bible, Genesis, has a famous one. It's the story of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, wounds up in, Pharaoh's hellhole of a prison, but he's great at interpretation of dreams. Pharaoh has a dream which nobody can interpret. Joseph is called up, he interprets the dream, and if I could step into my economics route, Joseph leads the first successful example of supply-demand management. And Egypt is saved and has a lot of food when the rest of the world is going into starvation. And then what happens? Joseph goes to Pharaoh and says, Your holiness, your emperorship, your pharaohship, my relatives and friends would like to come down to Egypt because, things are starvation in the land of Canaan. And Pharaoh says, oh, bring them in, bring them in. You know what? They should live in Goshen. Tell them they can live in Goshen. It's a wonderful suburban community, has a great school system, well, a lot of pickleball courts. They'll love it. And then a few generations later, the Bible puts it so graphically. There came a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph, and the Jewish people were enslaved. At our Seder on Thursday, AR is going to lead us in many powerful songs, but one in particular, when Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down to Egypt land, and tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. This is a song that was not just the Jewish people, it was sung by American slaves. It was sung by civil rights workers under Dr. King. It was sung in South Africa by Archbishop Desmond Tutu and his followers. Boy, oh boy, clear example of going from hero to zero in a nanosecond. But you don't have to go to ancient history. You just have to look at corporate America. I mean, I know so many people who were star performers. They were the wonderkins of the corporation one minute, and the next moment they're downsized out of a job. Happens in pop stars all the time. Let's go back to the 1950s. Remember Eddie Fisher, the great singer? He marries Debbie Reynolds, America's sweetheart. Oh boy, hero time. Eddie leaves Debbie, goes to Elizabeth Taylor, and then in a nanosecond, Elizabeth Taylor leaves Eddie and goes to Richard Burton while they're filming Cleopatra. Oh my God, a clear hero to zero. And Eddie Fisher's career never recovered. In sports, you see this all hero to zero all the time. How many people, show of hands, Michael Jordan. Remember, you have heard of Michael Jordan? Oh, there we go, almost everybody. Hands down. How many people have heard of Derrick Rose? Wow, oh my goodness. The first service, nobody had heard of Derrick Rose. A few people have heard of Derrick. Well, what happened, the Chicago Bulls, they're still on top, but they're starting to age, and you can see even Michael Jordan is not going to go on forever. You got to get new fresh blood. Derrick Rose, oh boy, he has an incredible jump shot. He puts his foot down, and whammo, it's a three-pointer and all that. He's going to be the next, maybe even the next Michael Jordan. He suffers a serious knee injury, and that ended his career. And everything shifted from Derrick Rose being a hero to what might have been. You see this in wealth, a hero to zero. You see it in wealth, philanthropy, and falling fortunes. I remember this so well from my United Way days with a guy called T. Cullen Davis. T. Cullen Davis was a Texas oil billionaire. Oh my God, if you could just get 10 minutes with T. Cullen, to get your project or whatever over and all that, and he was a generous philanthropist. He went bankrupt, from billions to bankruptcy, to the point of, in Texas, there was a saying, what's the difference between T. Cullen Davis and a pigeon? What's the difference between T. Cullen Davis and a pigeon? A pigeon can still land a deposit on a Rolls Royce. You see this hero to zero pattern even in the ministry. And one of you came up to me last week. It was at the Thai restaurant. I got permission to tell the story. One of you came up to me and you said, he said to me, when my son was around 7 or 8 years old, he came to me and he said, Daddy, when I grow up, I want to be either a minister or a garbage man. And the father looked and said, why a minister or a garbage man? And the son said, well, because ministers and garbage men only work 1 day a week. So this is about Reverends Mark and Betty. I'm making up names here, but Reverend Mark and Betty married. They get an incredible pulpit, one of the leading pulpits in the Unity movement. And I was in their town, and I got to hear them, and I thought, oh my God, and I was friends with them. I thought, My goodness, they're going to be at this church for the next 20 years. A month later, I hear through the grapevine that at the end of October, it's the end of Mark and Betty's career at this church. What happened? Well, several of their leading donors didn't like Mark and Betty, and they went to the board of trustees and they said, you have a choice. Either Mark and Betty leave by the end of October, or we leave by the end of October. The board, being great, courageous people of courage, Mark and Betty were out of there. I mean, again, 0 to 0 phenomenon. And I bet you, many of you, if not all of us, have gone through 0 to 0. Don't tell me what you did for me yesterday. What are you doing for me today? So the question then becomes, how did Jesus deal with this 0 to 0 phenomenon? From the hero of Palm Sunday to what looked like a 0 on Good Friday. Well, he first had an incredible Good Friday consciousness, and he had right-sized his ego. Jesus didn't wait for the crisis to happen. He did his shadow work. He did his spiritual work before the crisis hit. And so when the crisis hit, he was really prepared. Now, I'm talking about, and again, I'm going to be sticking my 2 cents in. I'm talking about right-sizing of the ego. Do you remember Flip Wilson, the Flip Wilson? And one of his favorite characters was Geraldine. And Geraldine's boyfriend was Killer. You never saw Killer, but I mean, that was Geraldine's boyfriend. And then when Geraldine was naughty, what did she say? Oh, the devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. Well, I think in a lot of New Thought circles, if Geraldine were New Thought, she would be saying, the ego made me do it. The ego made me do it. We have turned, I believe, the ego into, in many cases, our Satan. And you know what? I believe strongly that God gave us egos for a reason. Take away your egos, and I'd like to see how many of you were paying your rent checks and or your mortgage payments on time if there were no ego. God gave us an ego for a reason. And quite frankly, have an ego in your metaphysical car. Just don't have it in the driver's seat. So if I may mix metaphors. Suppose the ego is supposed to run at 60 decibels. If it's running at 60 decibels, boy, oh boy, that ego is an asset. The problem is that so many of us are running our egos not at 60 decibels, we're running it at 460 decibels. And if you're running your ego at 460 decibels, then it's a liability. The important thing is to right-size that ego. You do it through shadow work. You do it through a prayer and meditation routine. You do it by having a trusted spiritual mentor. And the other is also true. There's some people who are running their egos at only 6 decibels. If you're running your ego at 6 decibels, there are problems. In this case, it's an inflation of the ego, not a deflation, to get you up to 60 decibels. I think the Apostle Paul put it so well in the letter to the Philippians when he talked about Jesus. He said he emptied himself. He emptied himself. He made sure that his ego was running at 60 decibels. And I think that right-sizing of the ego is so, not getting rid of the ego, but right-sizing it. And when we do, it becomes an important asset in our spiritual walk. You can also see this in terms of Jesus was not overly dependent upon approval. He was not, sure, he probably liked the hero welcome on Palm Sunday, but he wasn't, this is not what he was basing his self-worth and everything on. It was his relationship with what he called the Father. We call Father, Mother, God, divine spark, call it what you will. But it wasn't necessarily on outward approval. And so when he lost that outward approval, he was still spiritually centered. Another thing, he realized that Holy Week didn't end on Friday, on Good Friday, with crucifixion. He had a resurrection consciousness and realized that Holy Week and this whole story doesn't end on Friday with crucifixion. let me say to you, if you are going through something which, pardon my French, sucks eggs, some aspect of your life which is difficult, nasty, and hard, just remember, this is not the end of the story. This is not the end of the story. The material world is not the end all and be all. And start developing that resurrection consciousness. And if you think all this is, like blasphemy, in the Gospel of John, Jesus said, "You shall do greater things than me." Do you think that was just window dressing? Or do you think that was a statement of unapologetic manifestation and that it is possible for us? Now, I can hear some of you saying, yes, but remember when he was on the cross? He said, my God, why have you forsaken me? My God, why have you forsaken me? The first two lines from the 22nd Psalm. Now, I have two responses to that. First, and again, going into my Jewish roots, there is an old rabbinical trope, it's been around for ages, where the rabbi will say the first line of something which everybody knows. And then he'll never say the rest, the second line or whatever, because everybody knows it. And then he moves on to the next subject. For example, the rabbi might say, you folks want to improve your health? I say to you, early to bed and early to rise. And then he move on to something else. Why? Because the whole audience knew early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Or the rabbi might say, we are having trouble with resources and you're thinking about productivity. Well, I say to you, a stitch in time. A stitch in time saves 9. He doesn't say the last. All right. Now, Abraham Lincoln was not a rabbi, but he used this trope a lot. And probably his most famous example was his famous "A House Divided" speech. Half slavery, half free. And he makes a speech where he talks about a house divided, a house divided. Now, his audience had much more and better biblical knowledge than probably most modern audiences have. And they knew a house divided cannot, if the Bible says a house divided cannot stand. He was leaning to that. So, except for just a moment, humor me on this. So Jesus is pointing to the first lines in the 22nd Psalm. My God, why have you forsaken me? So what's the end of the 22nd Psalm, which I believe he was pointing to? The last lines are, posterity will serve him. Future generations will be told about the Lord. They will proclaim his righteousness and declare to people yet unborn, he has done it. Wow. And a second response, if you don't like that one, even the Catholic Church, Jesus was fully human and fully divine. Fully human and fully divine. To be fully human, how can you be fully human and never gone through a period of anxiety? I mean, you've never gone through a period of loss. You've never gone through a period of fear. If that's the case, my God, you have not been fully, at least on this planet, have not been. It's interesting, and I believe, again, sticking my 2 cents in again, I believe that Jesus had bad hair days. I'm serious about this. He had, we have this image of Jesus as sort of being a Hallmark greeting card. But the reality was that even Jesus had bad hair days. And you can see it in the God. Maybe they would have wanted to cross it out, but it didn't get crossed out. You can see it. There are times where he comes in, little patience, he turns around and says to the disciples, how much longer am I going to have to suffer around with nincompoops like you, with slow learners like you? Or remember with the Roman centurion, and the Roman centurion makes a comment, and he turns to his followers and say, I haven't seen such faith in all of the house of Israel as shown by this Roman. I mean, you can see this. Even Jesus had bad hair days. I have known Ken Daigle for a while, and dear friend, spiritual teacher, and all that. And so I viewed his story as essentially that in the 1980s, late 70s, 80s, he contracted AIDS. And this was before, there were medicines or anything. I mean, Ken Daigle should have been dead for over 40 years ago. But you see him now, he's like the Energizer Bunny on steroids, for God's sakes. So what happened? Well, what happened was that he had the good fortune of falling into one of Marianne Williamson's early prayer circles based on the Course of Miracles. And then, if that wasn't enough, Ken had the good fortune of discovering Eric Butterworth's church in New York and becoming sort of like a lieutenant to Eric and student of Eric Butterworth. So he started using these principles. He started using the same principles that Myrtle Fillmore used, and before even the medicine was out, when everybody was dropping like flies, Ken lived. I thought, wow. And so he had that knowledge and he had that experience, and the rest of his life has been an upward trajectory. Well, you know what? You read his book on apologetic manifestation, and you see it wasn't that way. There were periods, that even the great Ken Daigle had bad hair days. And so I would say, be gentle with yourself. Be compassionate and forgiving with yourself. Realize that probably even Jesus and Buddha also had bad hair days. And so I think it all boils down to this. My suggestion is that you use this Holy Week to recall times when you felt like a hero, and then in a nanosecond, you felt like a zero. Recall those times of going from hero to zero. What did that experience show you about where you placed your identity? This Holy Week, notice when you may be clinging too much to a role, a reputation, or a relationship for a sense of self-worth. During this Holy Week, gently affirm, this is something I do, but it is not who I really am. My real essence is that Christ, that Buddha nature, that divine spark within. In prayer and meditation this week, imagine laying both your hero and your zero masks down before the divine spark that is inside of you. That divine spark is your real essence. And may we all have the courage to follow this divine spark, not just in a parade, but all the way through to letting go and right-sizing, trusting that beyond every zero lies a resurrection we may not yet even be able to imagine. And lastly, may this Holy Week be a time which is so productive for you and so exhilarating. Thank you, and God bless. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Rick, for that wonderful perspective on this such important story that begins our Holy Week this year. Next week, we'll be right back here for our Easter Sunday services. The title is Let Him Easter in Us. It'll be Reverend Rick. And we'll have the SLC choir, so looking forward to seeing you all then. We would like to take this time to welcome our newcomers. And if you're watching us online, you can go to slcworld.org and click on the Connect button and fill out the card there, because we'd like to know that you're watching us, and also we'd like to keep you up on whatever is happening at SLC, and there's so much happening. For those of you who are in person today, in a moment we're going to ask you to raise your hand, and we'll give you a welcome card to fill out, which you can take to the welcome table at the hub for a warm welcome and a special gift. So if you're here for the first time, will you please raise your hand? We have a few newcomers. Welcome, welcome. And now we have an opportunity to help support Spiritual Life Center, knowing that all that we give circles back to us. You can text SLC Love at 44321 or go to our website and click the donate button. You can also mail in your love offering. And if you're online and you want to spread this wonderful consciousness of SLC, please click like, comment, share, or subscribe. And now let us join together in our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. When you come, everything must change. Sing Hosanna, Hosanna. Now that you're here, this place will never be the same. As you rode into Jerusalem, the city fills the street with palms. And now you've come here like a rushing wind. And we will join in their response. We'll sing Hosanna, yeah, Hosanna in the highest. When you come, everything must change. We cry Hosanna, hey, now that you're here, this place will never be the same. We cry Hosanna, hey, Hosanna in the highest. When you come, everything must change. We sing Hosanna, now that you're here, this place will never be the same. Hey, hey. Now as you walk the road of suffering, each step the way to mastery. Oh, you demonstrate triumphantly. The Christ light that will shine in me. We'll sing Hosanna, hey, Hosanna in the high. When you come, everything must change. Sing Hosanna in the highest. Yeah, now that you're here, this place will never be the same. Sing Hosanna in the highest. Hey, Hosanna in the highest. When you come, everything must change. Sing Hosanna. Hey, now that you're here, this place will never be the same. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Life is changing.
It took 15, Youth and Family Ministry, it took 15 years for some of the seeds that were planted in me by Youth and Family Ministry, but they did sprout. Let's just say a blessing to our Youth and Family Ministries. Kids, teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold God's love as you. Wow. Wow. Friends, let's bless the prayers in our prayer box and prayers that are on people's hearts. Help them to know that overcoming power of spirit, that they may feel love, peace, and joy, and victory in their lives. Thank you for all the investments that are made in our ministry of time, treasure, and talent. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. Now, we are going to say the prayer for protection and then sing the peace song. There's going to be a wonderful music postlude afterwards, but join us in the courtyard for more Palm Sunday fellowship. And so let's say that prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I are, God is, I am, and all is well. And we now sing that wonderful peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let days begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my song and vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me.
Yay! Yay! Okay, you guys. All right, you guys, we're gonna go. Stay right here, okay? Stay right here, baby. We're gonna let your mom and dad come get you, okay? So we're gonna stand right here, okay? Thank you. All righty. Yay! You wanna hold on to it? No. Okay. Thank you. So I think we should take them back, unless their parents come take them back to the room. Yeah. Okay, gonna go back to the room unless your mom gets here.